Hi everybody, welcome back to the attic. Hope everyone's doing well. Hi to anybody who's watching this on catch up. Let's see who we've got in the chat. Bring up my trusty phone and look at the chat. And we have Hot Dog Pilot Andy, how you doing? Tom Houston, Flyman Chairman 1, Clive at Newland Railway, Time Traveller 63, hey, how you doing? Anthony, the model train outsider. Hi Mick, how you doing? Jerry, BVR, good to see you. Hi Leslie. I think that's all we've got in. So, Peter Jackson, how you doing, sir? And Richard Bowen. And anyone else there in the background? Well, you can see all the color beams are out. We've got the full length now. I'll turn the camera around in a minute so you can see behind you where the new tank is. Got the last color beam cut today. I've got all my model railway stuff up here now. You're thinking, why have I got it up here if I've still got the installation to do? The room that all this stuff is stored in downstairs, I need clear so I can, when the installation is delivered, it can go in there. So I had to put it up here, and I'm trying to pile it in the middle so I can walk around it. So no trains running tonight, but what I plan to do is go through this, tidy it up, box it. Some of the stuff needs to go back into the museum because it's stuff I brought home for repair and what have you, so it needs to go back in. So I'll put on the roaming phone in a minute, and I'll take you around and show you what I've done. I'm hoping now that I'll get the installation delivered perhaps Saturday or Monday, and then I'm hoping it'll take a couple of days to whack that up and then seal it up and start painting. So hopefully by this time next week, a good bit of it will be done, and then I can start building baseboards. No, Mick, I'm not finished that little job yet. I've been taking it easy, taking my time doing it, you know. Anyway, let's connect onto the mobile here, and then I can show you around. So it's a bit of a boring one tonight. I'm just sorting all this stuff out. Any questions or anything, put them on the chat. Hi, Noel, how you doing? Good to see you here. Hope you're keeping well. Brenton Junction, how you doing? Sorry if I missed anyone else that's come in. If you got any questions, pop them in the chat. If I don't answer them, I don't see them, just keep popping them in until I see them, or Flymo or somebody will highlight them to me. All right, let's get this all set up. And you can see my new water tank. Exciting stuff here. I'm going to mute that. Oh. Right, let's add that to the stream. And I'll put that in solo for now. Hi, Kieran, how you doing? Jim Bergen. Hi. Right, so why is that not flipping? There we go. Right, so there's the new tank tied up against the wall. I got those brackets made up, some gallows brackets. It's 50mm angle iron bolted to the wall. As well as that, you got collar beams going across, so it's all nicely supported. I think it's about 220 kilos when full of water, about 33 stone. So those brackets should hold it nicely. And you can see the old central heating tank is just sitting on the top there. So now from sort of here is where I'll be building a partition wall. So this will sit behind it. And from here down to the other end is 39 foot. So there'll be baseboard going all the way around. And this is all my model railway stuff, which has been in storage in a room downstairs since we moved. I've brought it up here today, so over the next couple of days now I can sort through it. As I say, some of the stuff needs to go back into the museum. Not much of it, to be honest. So there's the old tank, and there's the disgusting mess along with some sawdust in the bottom of it. I was brushing my teeth with the water that came out of that. There's the hatch. Still a couple more boxes to come up. There you can see all my sets I've collected over the years. And here's from the other end. So, as you can see, quite a lot of work done in the past week. So we had a bank holiday here on the Monday, so I was able to get a lot of work done. I have to say a big thank you to my son Mark, who was a great help up here, and to the rest of them as well, and to Anna, who was helping me lift boxes up here this evening. So I'll take that off here now, put the main camera back on. And remove it. See, I don't have too many. Agent Express, how you doing? Yeah, I was wondering what I could use the old tank for. To be honest, I'm going to have to cut it up to get it out of here. So I was going to cut the top off, and then it should be narrow enough to fit through the hatch. So I think it'll make a flower bed or something outside. Just to get it out of here. But yeah, it's a nice space, but it's surprising. Like all the stuff you can see here, like most of that is going to be on the layout, like the track and the houses and everything like that. So, and the rest of it will fit underneath. Hi, Bernie, how you doing? I'm just going to have a scroll back through the chat just to see if I missed anything. If there was any questions. And chat's disappeared. I'll go back into it. What you, Andy Hot Dog, were you saying keep an eye on it? What? I can't see anything in there. I don't think I missed anything. Hi, Carl. How you doing? Yeah, I see there's a rail tour going to Sligo in April. Howard, how are you doing? Hi, St. David's. The current temperature up here is 10 degrees. So it's not too bad. Forgetting I'm in Donegal, so, you know, anything above 15 degrees is considered tropical here. Right. Well, I'm going to get started rummaging through this stuff. I'll try and keep an eye on the chat. No, I'm not adding a skylight to the loft because I would have to put it on that side there, which is the rear of the house. And we're planning to put solar panels on there because that's the south-facing roof. So I'm not putting a light up. I may do at a later date once we get the solar panels up. There might be a space or whatever, but I have no plans to do it at the moment. It is all going to be insulated. Hopefully that will all be done next week. Oh, you can hear the water running, can you? Yeah, unfortunately, every time someone flushes the toilet, the tank fills up. It's all right. It's not leaking. I have been keeping an eye on it. The plumber was here Saturday. He had all this done in about 5 hours. He done a great job on there. Lovely, neat job. And he was actually able to negotiate with the plumbing supplier, and he actually got me a couple of quid off the all the materials. So, hi, Mark Hemmeldown. How you doing? yeah, so that's the plan. I'm looking at all this now going, where do I start? But one thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find my truck cleaner that I got only last September, was it? I got it. Last time I remember using it was in the Railway Museum when I was cleaning all the tracks. And I can't find it, and I can't find my bottle of IPA, which would have been with it. So I don't know where it's gone. If it's not here, it's probably in the railway centre. Someone's probably picked it up and put it away somewhere. I just can't find it. Yeah, it won't leak into the partition wall goes up. Exactly. Yeah. But what I'm doing there is I'm leaving a big space. So if I need to get at any of that, I can take out a big section and plenty of access to it. Because at some point you're going to have to go in there and replace the washer on the ball cock or something like that. Yeah, Drumbo would have to have a boiler exam. We had it examined when we were doing the restoration on it to see what would need doing on it, and it's fairly well intact. Obviously, it would need retubing, and there's a plate I think on the firebox that needs replacing, but it's in remarkably good condition for something that hasn't ran for 60 years. So we're doing our best to preserve it now. We've got it under cover, under canopy. All the running gear has been greased and oiled. Yeah, St. David's Green. This is one of the when we looked at this house, I came up into the attic. The loft ladder and hatch was already here, and I thought, well, that's good. So I was able to come up, have a look, and I seen the collar beams down low, and I thought, oh, and the tank in the middle. So I got a couple of friends who are builders in, said, come up. They had a look, and I said, could I do this? And they said, yeah, no problem. Move the collar beams up, which I've done here, and studded wall along there. Everything is bolted, and if it's screwed in with 4-inch screws, so it's all quite secure. It's not going anywhere. It was a lot of work to do all this. It took me a lot longer than I thought it would. It was, of course, a lot of it was spent bent over like this and crawling on my hands and knees to get it. But now it's an open space. I can walk up and down. I got the floor in, so it should be a lot easier to do the insulation now, the insulation board. Of course, I hope to get that delivered either Saturday or Monday. Of course, I have to store it downstairs, cut it up downstairs so it'll fit up through the hatch and put it in place. So I will start down that end. I'm going to do a ring complete around just to see how it all fits together, see whether it's to do the bottom first or the top first, to see where I start for it to fit together. So I'll do a bit of experimenting with that. And then hopefully once I've got that sorted, it's a matter then of just cutting it and putting it in. Diagonally, the hatch is just over 4 foot. So I'll try with one sheet to see if I can get the whole sheet up without cutting it, which would be handier because obviously the roof will take a full size sheet and the end walls will take full size sheets. And the side walls here, they're about 3 foot. And this gap here will be just over 4 foot. So I'm using Celotex board. So, like the Quintherm, it's going to be 50mm with a plasterboard exterior. So it'll all be grey plasterboard in here. I'm just going to tape up the seams, and then I'm going to just white paint all over it. Yeah, I like any spare hour I've had, doing this. Of course, once I have all this done and it's all painted and the plasterboard and everything's in, I've got a list of jobs as long as my arm to do downstairs, because we had to get this done first, to empty 2 rooms downstairs. So then it's going to be moving furniture, putting pictures up, putting shelves up, putting curtain rails up. And then some of the kids are going to move bedrooms in because they've got built-in wardrobes. Some of these wardrobes were put in the 70s, so you can imagine what they look like. So they have to be ripped out, and then the walls repaired and painted and everything. So I won't be I won't be doing whenever I'm allowed up here. I'll be doing it. Of course, the thing about having this attic space as well is I can't really work late in the evenings like I could in the other house because it was out in the shed. I could just go out there and work away to 10, 11 o'clock at night. Of course, up here, I got kids sleeping below me, so I won't be able to do that much. So that's the plans for up here. So hopefully come next week, I'm hoping the insulation will be up, but it all depends whether they can deliver it on time. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Tom, there's a lot of double handling with this stuff. Like now I've had to move all this up here. And of course, as I'm working up here, I'm going to have to move this stuff around. I've got dust, so I'm piling it all in the middle here. I've got dust sheets to put over it, protect it as long as possible. And then once I have the insulation done, if I can build just a couple of baseboards so I can get the stuff put underneath it and on top of it for storage, and then I can get the rest of the stuff up. Just put the kids in care. Yeah, it's going to be a great space. Like, so I'll use this camera. So, like we have sort of this space here in front of the tank. So I'm making this a flat area here. This is going to be an industrial area or something that's flat that I can clear off if I need to get to the tanks. So it's going to be flat scenery here, really. So there might be something in the corners, but it'll be basically flat here. So if I need to, I can clear off and get to the tanks. Then I'll just continue it around here. And then it'll go around chimney breast. And then it'll go into on down there to the far wall. So that's going to be sort of a steam shed station, sort of steam era at one end. So an older station going into a more modern station with TMD at the other end. Some sort of scenic break there. Be down that end is where I'll have my little desk for working on. And then it'll come, if you can see it there, that other chimney breast. It will come from behind that chimney breast. And then it will come out of a tunnel on a mountain, sort of along an embankment. Then I'm going to have some sort of viaduct coming across, some water feature, a big river, and then maybe back into a tunnel on a mountain, and then it will come back around then back to here. So, hi Digger, how you doing? So it's it'll keep me going for years. Like this is going to take years to build. You know, the first thing I have to do is build the lower level, which is going to be all the storage sidings, and that's going to use up, I think, all the track I have left over from my other layout. Like I have, like that last layout I had, it was 2 levels. It had, I think there was 5 boxes of track in that. So the lower level is just going to take that up, just like doing 2 circuits, because it's almost 100 foot around. And what's 25 lengths in a box? That's 75 foot. So it's a box and a third to go all the way around. So yeah, it'll keep me busy. But I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to get the baseboards built and just have a loop and just have a train going around, just to see how long it takes a train to go all the way around. Hi, Leonard Hattrick, who's watching on Facebook. And most of us are watching on YouTube. If you want to come over and join in the chat there. Hi, Ewan. How you doing? Hi, Grant. How you doing? The electrics are already up here, so there was already a socket up here, and that's wired into the ring main for the first floor. So it's not going to be a separate circuit. But what I will do is I'm going to have a sort of a stop button. So when I go out here, press the stop button, I know everything up here is dead. Yeah, I'm going to need a few more cameras, and what I'm going to do is get them wired in. So they'll all be USB, and I can have my computer up here that I use for the video editing, which is quite a powerful computer. So I'll mess around with OBS on that and see if I can get all that working well on there. I wasn't going to leave access there, Jerry, because there, if you imagine, there's going to be almost 100 feet of baseboard around, like it's 40 there, 40 there, sort of 10 across. So it's almost 100 feet of baseboard. So under that, there's going to be load of space, storage space for the Christmas stuff and my camping stuff and everything that's going to come up here. So there should be plenty of storage space. I know it doesn't look at the moment with all my train stuff, but a lot of this, as I say, will just be going on the layout. Like this all fitted out in my shed, which was only 10 foot by 13. Did I miss any other? Yeah, so everything up here, I will have a switch up here. I have to run up a cable for internet. At the moment, I've just got a cable running down the stairs to the router. So it'll have its own computer network up here as well. It'll have its own dedicated router, which means when I'm live streaming, if the internet's particularly bad, I can cut everyone else off in the house and just have it up here. So I can take all the bandwidth. Because we're supposed to be on what they call like a half fiber, which means it's fiber to the cabinet and then copper from there to here. We're supposed to be able to get 100, but I haven't got any more than 40. Hi, Darren. How you doing? Yeah, Bernie at Crossway Point Junction. He'll be live after me at 8:30. So you can pop over to him afterwards. You never know; you might see me on there again if he's sharing his stream, which is something I'll be able to do when I get set up here properly. Because at the moment, running the laptop, I'm using the ports on there for my mic, so I can't have speakers on, so I wouldn't be able to hear. Oh, hi, Gary. How you doing? So you pop in there. Hi, Stuart. How you doing? Hi, Ian. Yeah, it's getting there, Stuart. I said the last color beam was only cut out this morning. Let's see if I can find a picture. Myself and my son, Mark, took a picture. Just posing beside the last beam, cutting it out. So we, you can see we had all the safety equipment on here because when you're cutting beams and that, a lot of sawdust and what have you. So yeah, I swept it through, and I took out a bucket of sawdust from here after sweeping it, and there's still sawdust up here. So I've swept the most of it up. Now I need to get a vacuum up here and give it a bit of a vacuum, clean it all up. Let's have a little drink. Yeah, so I need to sort all this stuff out because it's been, when did we move in here? Beginning of November. So it's been in the room since November. And of course, I've been going into boxes to take things out because I've needed it for the railway museum. So it's all over the shop. I just need to sort it out, make sure I've got all the scenery stuff in one box, all the track together, all my sets together, you know, all the carriages and locos and everything, just to sort it out, you know, the electrical stuff all together, because it's, you know, when I start building the layout, I won't be able to find things and put my hands on them. Yeah, with my cabinet, I can open up the door and look down the road and I can see it. It's not that far away. Well, the solar panels will be installed and it'll power the whole house. And we're looking at the one where you have a battery as well. So it will charge the battery so you can run off the battery in the evenings. Fix fake water that went milky from frost. I thought I seen somebody do something like that, and I'm not sure if they heated it gently with either a heat gun or a little blowtorch. I'm not sure if they've done that to stop to. I don't know if anybody else has got any idea. I know the water dripping. Well, I don't notice it, and it doesn't bother me. And of course, it's running now because my daughter's just come back from horse riding, so she's in the shower. You see, mine's was all packed up, neat and tidy. But as I say, it's been in storage downstairs, and I've needed bits for the museum, so I've been opening boxes and pulling bits out. So it's all, and then of course it goes back in a jumble. So now I need to box it all up because I'm sure there's some stuff in here that is rubbish that I can just throw out, because I picked one box up and it was just full of Hornby platform sections. And I'm thinking, looking at them going, I'm probably never going to use those. Oh, you tried a heat gun, no luck. All right. Hi, Andy. How you doing? Yeah, I'll stand back out of the way so anyone who's just joined can see the length of the attic space here. And hopefully once I get the insulation in, it'll look a lot brighter, and paint it. I tell you, I don't mind doing DIY, but one of the things I hate doing is painting. Just and of course, if I paint up here, she's gonna say, "Well, you painted up there. Why can't you paint this room?" So I can't win. Model a chemical plant upstream. Yeah, that was part of the discussion we had last week. Is what industry should I have? Like I thought, I'll have a power station, leaning towards a brewery, or maybe just like an industrial complex with like a brewery and a chemical works or something in it. I don't know. Yeah, imagine the could fit in here, Ewan. Like I think it's going to look quite nice now. I could see it in my mind's eye. Won't look like how I envisioned it when I build it. It'll look like a mess. But just a tunnel there, coming out from behind that chimney, and then a nice long run down here, before it goes around into a dusting area. So you have a chance to do a nice big scene. So you can have a nice big aqueduct. I keep saying aqueduct. Viaduct. You know, similar to Mark Hemmel down there, his viaduct there. He's got a lovely long one, and I think it'd be nice there. Coming along, big wide valley, off an embankment. Well, there's a lot of ideas, Peter. St. Mark's Gate. Yeah. Yeah, plenty of opportunity to do things. I mean, that space there from this chimney breast here, you can just see the socket there down to the wall. That's 29 foot. So, I mean, the station and the TMD, you know, that's probably only going to take up half of that. So I can have another scenic area there. So, you know, until I start laying track and messing around and looking at it, once the baseboard's built and you just, because I was using AnyRail to plan out my storage yards, and I thought, oh, that's plenty of room there. And I thought, that only actually takes up a fraction of that length there. And I thought, well, I've got all this all around here. Well, have I got space-wise? Well, it is from this tank where the partition will be sort of behind the camera to that far wall is 39 feet. It'd be a little bit less once the insulation's on and that, so, and then from that side to that side is 14 foot. So yeah, it's a good space. Like we bought this house. This is our home now. We'll be here for at least 10 years. So this is going to be my man cave, my escape to come up here. As I say, down that end will be my desk for working at. Have the TV up on the wall, computer down there. So I can just come up and escape. Yeah, I was also thinking that a small docks, because I was thinking of maybe incorporating that where I was going to have the scenic section over here, is have the viaduct coming across, and maybe it opens up into like a larger bay. As people know, you're building making tracks for. Yeah, I think he would build making tracks for a lot quicker than I will build this. It's the sort of thing, this is the general plan I have, but of course it will evolve over time when I look at it and go, no, that's not a good idea, that I want to do this. I just down this side, I just want to have a nice long scenic bit with just going to be hopefully 4 tracks going around, but I think the scenic bit will only have 2 tracks. The other 2 will be hidden, just so you can have a nice shot coming down. Because I think if you have 4 tracks, it'll look a bit too much. Just having 2 tracks coming along, trains passing and going up and down. I have to think about sections as well, because I'm going to split it into blocks, so at a future date I can use some block control on it. Yes, good job I don't hand build, yeah. And I'm not going to the effort of spacing sleepers like some people do. yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, it's gonna be, as I say, my escape from reality for a while, to come up here for a few hours, do some work, and like as I said, kids are gonna be in bed below me, so I'll be able to come up and probably sit at the desk and do some model making there, whether it's doing maintenance on locos or repairing bits and pieces. So that'll keep me busy. Burton Port Mark II. Yeah, there'll be no spacing of the sleepers. It'll be the Pico wooden sleepers. It'll be all pinned down with 2mm cork underlay under it. And then once I ballast it in and everything, I can go around and take the track pins in, because the ballast and everything will hold it in place. Yeah, I've seen Graham's work on doing that. Scrapyard. Get the kids some earplugs. I was thinking about that, Alan. Yeah, you could have a large container yard. So you could have I mean, that will probably, if I'm having it there, I could have a container yard, sort of a steam era container yard, going on to the steam sheds into the station with the TMD at the other end. Go for TT. I've got too much of my own stuff now, 00 gauge, to go to TT. I'm not even tempted, There will be, I'm going to try and incorporate some 009 into it, because I was on the internet and went down a rabbit hole looking at Donegal stuff, and I found somebody who 3D prints Donegal rail cars and that sort of thing, and using then Kato bogies to run it all on. And I happened to come across some N-gauge track that I've got from somewhere. So I've got some of that. Sorry, did we lose connection there for a minute? For some reason, the internet's just dropping off. Yeah, Graham is very good. I don't think I'm near Graham's standard. He is very good. His scenery and everything he does is just really, really good. I mean, I remember him saying when he first watched Luke Towan, he said, "Well, that's it. I'm giving up. I'm not doing it again," after seeing what Luke turned on. And I thought, I feel the same way, Graham, when I watch you. All the stuff you do, because there's a lot of excellent modelers out there. Like Everard Junction, the stuff he does. Even Dave at see, there I am again. My name's gone. Scottish guy, but some of the stuff he does. Of course, you've got Luke Town, who's like the king of everything, and then they're all really, really good. Dean Park, that's it, yeah. Sorry, I just set up. Wedding scene and a car crash. Well, I did make up during lockdown. I made up a little diorama scene of a house with a car that crashed through it, and it was sitting inside the house with its blinkers going, and there was an ambulance outside with flashing lights. So I'll probably incorporate that somewhere. Yeah, so yeah, having little scenes like that make it interesting, and it's also fun to build. So it's just thinking of them. But what you end up doing is you end up seeing someone else has done it, and then you either make a variation of it or you copy what they've done. I'm not a very original person. Start becoming an engager. No, it'll be used for 009. Yeah, as I was saying, I was find this guy, and they were quite reasonable. He just sent them out. Of course, you'd have to paint them up, but that's simple. It's just it's a blood and custard color that they used. So I'd have Phoenix and a couple of rail cars, have them running around, make up a small station. In fact, I've got a couple of years ago, we had somebody come in and scan Donegal station. So we've got that. It could be just 3D printed off, easy enough. Couple necking behind the pub. You can't see engage you. Never mind, model it. You're not that bad, Andy. Yeah, see, I don't know what I would take for inspiration for doing my modeling. It's always stuff that like I said, I want a hillside. Probably the reason I want the embankment is because of the embankment out through Barnasmore Gap here that the Donegal ran on. And then I think I've always wanted an viaduct for it to go across. So I think that looks nice. Now, something I've always wanted when I first started modeling, I used to love the Hornby suspension bridge. I thought that was really nice. And I've actually got one now because a friend of mine passed away a few years ago, and I didn't even know he was into model railways. He kept that very secret. He knew I was into it, but he never said anything to me about it. And when he passed away, his wife came to me and said, look, he's got all this stuff, and in there he had a suspension bridge. So I've got one now, so I feel like I must use that somewhere on the layout as a tribute to him. Yeah, I think I've seen that somewhere before, Leslie, because I was thinking about that, using the different scales for perspective. A model of Killybegs. I was thinking of that as well, having Killybegs, or I might do the Donegal town, because there was a plan. It was never built, but there was a plan to build the railway from the station down to the harbour in Donegal town, but it was never built. And we've actually got the plans, the original plans, in our museum. Starting to feel the cold now because I'm not moving around. I'm still saying 10 degrees. Nah, they won't. They don't like coming up the ladder, so I'm safe up here. And the missus doesn't like coming up the ladder either. So as long as I stay down this end, she can't get me. And she can't reach the fuse box to switch the lights off on me either. So Killybegs, the coldest place on Mother. No, do you know where the coldest place is? It's Holyhead. The amount of times I've been there waiting for a ferry. Of course, the ferry is always at 3 o'clock in the morning, so it's never warm anyway. And it's absolutely freezing there. You stood there, get out of your car, you're waiting for the ferry. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, you're tired. Hi, Dino, how you doing? So I'll have my TV down there, my computer down there. I'll have a couple of monitors. I'll probably have one down here. So I'm going to put in the. So I'm using Railmaster at the moment to control it, and I really do. In fact, that's one thing. Sam's Trains, he'd done a thing. He got a new controller, and all the thing because he was using Railmaster before through, I think, was the Elite or the Select or whatever. And some of the problems he was having, I'm having the same problems. And I always put it down to the chips. But from what he was saying, I was thinking, oh, it's Railmaster glitching out. That makes more sense now. I didn't even think of it. So I do want to get a new DCC system, but that's Railmaster will do me for now to get started. I think when I decide to go fully digital and do blocks and everything, then I'll decide which controller to use. Where's the beer fridge going to go? Well, I'm actually just 2 doors up from a pub. Yeah, so I'll have a look around and see what I can get, but that's not even anywhere near my shopping list at the moment because one, I've just bought a house. I have no money. This is going to cost me all in all probably about €5,000, and we've discovered there's a problem with the sewage line out the back, so that's going to be another £5,000 we have to spend to fix that. So yeah, I won't be buying much. Mr. Magoo glasses. Ballasting. Oh, the fun job. I've got that ballast vacuum. Can't recommend it highly enough. It makes ballasting so easy and so quick. And I'll show you what I use for ballast because I found the bag of it. Now, where did I put it? Barium gravel. This is a big, I think it's 8 kilo bag, and it cost me about a tenner. It's about the right, you can see that, scale size for 00. It's nice, sort of a grey blend, and it looks quite well. Yeah, Ewan, take care. I'll catch you again. Oh. Well, I haven't got much of this tidied up. I'm stood here chatting all day. You're going to build an aquarium. So I could put a couple of fish in the water tank. That again. Sorry, I think we dropped out there for a minute. Yeah, like a big bag of that is from the pet shop is a tenner, and you know, there's loads there, and you can get different grades and different colors. Works a treat. You could have a real a real water feature. Yeah, if the tank bursts. But that's the other thing. Somebody was up here, and something I didn't think of. So when he done the plumbing there's the heating pipes and everything there. So I could take a spur off that and have a little heater up here. Hi, Chris. How you doing? Yeah, say it's a fairly big acca. Like 39 foot is I think what I measured it as. So it's a nice space. Like that run from that chimney down to here will probably be about 32, 33 foot. So you can imagine you can have a nice long scenic run. So I think it'll look quite nice, you know, having trains going down there, their full speed. And you know where they're going to derail? They're going to derail just down there by the chimney, because that's where the hatch is, and they'll derail, fly off, and go down the hatch. Yeah, so I'm going to see how it goes with the insulation, and then come next year, the pipes are just over there. You can just make them out. They're all insulated. So I only have to spur into one of them, take a couple of pipes out, and away you go. Yeah, I'm going to see how it goes for this year, because the piggy bank is empty. And then take it from there. I know it probably pick up a radiator for probably €100 or something like that. And the pipe work wouldn't be that much, but it's... Oh, what heater do you have, Anthony? Choice. I was thinking more of Anthony's own hot air. Yeah, that satellite feed comes in. The dish doesn't actually work. It's something else we have to get sorted. But to be honest, we don't watch TV in this house. We're always watching YouTube, or we've got a subscription to Netflix or Disney Plus. You know, we have an aerial to watch TV, but the only time we watch TV is if there's something big happening on the news, to watch the news, or the Irishman, you would know, the Late Late Toy Show. That's the only thing we tune into the TV to watch. Yeah, we don't watch TV. Like, well, I haven't been watching much recently because my shed is where I had my TV, and I'd watch YouTube out there while I was doing some modeling and stuff. And I've been doing so much work up here. Every spare hour I've been up here trying to do bits and pieces, and I haven't watched too much. Well, I did. I'm up to date with Hornby Model World, because I've got a VPN on my phone, so I was able to watch it. It's something I like to put something on when I go to bed, because I find it easier to sleep with some noise in the background, sort of half distracting my brain. So yeah, I don't watch much TV. We have it downstairs. It's YouTube, Disney Plus is the most of the things that's on it. Yeah, so a couple of weeks now, this place should be well sorted. I can get cracking on with things. So you never know. This time next week, I'm either going to have a paintbrush in my hand, or I might have the first baseboard built, and I can be doing some track laying. Probably won't be allowed to. Trestle Bridge. Oh, this was donated to the museum, and it's been sitting in my house since it was donated. This was a modeler, unfortunately, who passed away, and his daughters donated all the stuff. The other part of this is in the museum on display, and this has been sitting here for a while. So he built this. I've got the road bed that goes across the top. That's here somewhere. It was just he modelled continental railways. So it's a nice little bit of work. You know, it's all hand built. So this is what I mean. I've got some of the stuff here that belongs to the museum, so it's got to go in there. You know, want to sort it out and take it in. Yeah, it's quite well made. I got some of his modelling bits. He actually has a jig for making up these trestles. So it doesn't really fit in with you don't really get anything like that on Irish or UK railways. It's more continental or even more American. Yeah, it's quite a piece. It's a nice sort of piece, you know, and you look at it and think, oh, somebody's. I know he spent hours building that and doing the scenic stuff on it, and it's you want to put it to somewhere where it's going to be used and seen and part of a layout, you know, because unfortunately so much of this stuff that people spend so much time on, and it's only people like us who appreciate the work and time and the effort and the enjoyment you get out of doing something like that, and the frustration that it needs to be somewhere to be appreciated by people who would appreciate it. So, yeah, I say there's another one that's in the museum on display, and that needs to go in there somewhere as well. As I say, the grey wagon where the pedigo layout, that's going to be sort of the model railway wagon, so I'll probably find a place for it in there to be on display so you can see the sort of thing that they do. Yeah, I know, Howard, I am supposed to be tidying while I'm talking to you, but I've sort of stood here watching the chat and chatting. Yeah, I'll get cracking on it now because it's almost time to finish the stream so I can put Bernie on and watch Bernie while I'm tidying. Yeah, I could have a standalone nut with a US logo on it. How long is the big boy? Could I fit a big boy on there? It could be my excuse to buy one. Yeah, so I have to. So I think I'm going to call it a day now, guys. That's almost an hour now. I can crack on and do a bit of this tidying. I'll be watching Bernie's stream in the background, so I'll be there. I'll pop in and say hello, but I'll be in the background, and maybe if Bernie has invited people on, I might come on so you can see if I've done anything. So probably be back in the loft again next week, and you'll see what progress, if any, happens by then. I'm hoping to have the installation done, but say it depends on whether the supplier has got stuff in stock and whether they can deliver it. So, and I also have to get the partition wall built there around the tank. So there's a bit of work to do. If I'm this time next week, if I've got the insulation up, I'll be happy, because then it's only a matter of running around with the roller and paint and sealing it up. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up for me and subscribe if you're new here. And you know, you can always leave any questions in the comments or anything like that. And it's good catching up with you guys, and I'll see you in some other live streams, I'm sure. Should be back here again next Thursday, 7:30. So take care, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. And I'll see some of you over at Bernie's. Bye, everyone.